Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host. Yes, indeed, we are off to another match on Semois. Yes, indeed, it was rather the best match. I thought that was right here for today. Of course, I would perhaps love another map, but you know, sometimes you have to go with what you have, not what you wish you have, and that, of course, is something I feel I have to sort of often repeat myself. It's not that I'm intently casting all the dull games, all the same games. It's usually just because, well, I don't have anything else, you know. So I mean, I sort of have to sort of juggle a lot of things when making a cast, you know, in terms of replay. Should I go for this? Should I go for that? Or should I go for the third thing? But now we are going to be seeing Susukimo Baga. We'll just call him Hauptmann C of Kampfgruppe C. He will be going for a 3 Kettenkraut start as the Panzer lead. That's pretty peculiar. Though he is, of course, going for to sort of taking as much territory away from the Brits right away. Of course, also getting a lot of resources into his way as well. On the other hand, we will be seeing IronRoman. Yes, indeed, IronRoman, just less great this time around. Apparently fighting for the Guards Armored Division. Moving up right here. Sort of more usual start, although he is plunking down his headquarters right down here next to this next territory. I see some Brit players do that. Also, of course, right next to a Vickers machine gun emplacement. Reconnaissance section moving ahead. First Panzer Grenadier squad out. Gewehr 43 on the way. Points being secured en masse. He's already gone for the doctrine. Considering there's nothing there in terms of explosives or repair kit, he's gone Luftwaffe. Point secure there, point secure there, point secure there. In fact, going for a lot of fuel, a lot of munitions. And we are seeing a Kampfgruppe company going up pretty early on as well for the Panzer Grenadiers. Lieutenant Jones moving out. And an infantry section coming out right there as well. So far, so good. I mean, not very often you see a 3 Kettenkraut start from a Panzer League player. So not very often I see it. Continuing to secure here. Of course, he's going to need to re-secure that one, since of course the Panzer League secured that. Kampfgruppe company up, second Panzer Grenadier squad up. Question is, of course, will he actually be using that, or will he just be going straight for armored cars?
The enemy is seizing our territory.
Quite a bit of a question there, of course, seizing their point back. More on the way from the headquarters command truck of the Guards Armored. We are seeing a Kettenkraut sneaking up here for some Ooh, 2 Kettenkrauts sneaking up. Sneaky, sneaky Kettenkrauts. How sneaky thou art. And there we go. He's actually going for an infantry half-track pretty early on as well. Quite interesting, quite interesting. Kettenkraut coming under fire though. Running straight into an infantry section. Running into the men of the IronRoman. Going straight from the munitions point up here. Pretty bold, pretty bold. British troops hunting it down. Small skirmishing up here. Panzer Grenadiers taking up position in the building. Kettenkraut moving out to push them out of the cover. Cheeky devil. More Panzer Grenadiers arriving. A lieutenant arriving to assist. Infantry section moving in to stop that. Kettenkraut heavily damaged. Could be going up in flames, smoke and tears. And come on. Oh, don't tell me the Kettenkraut's off. Oh my goodness, that was bloody well close right there, but it is down. Panzer Grenadiers and reconnaissance troops duking out there. Infantry half-track moving in. Leichte Schütze Panzerwagen. And the headquarters command truck arrives for IronRoman shortly after. That's going to be securing that munitions right away. Pretty usual to do it like that. Infantry half-track, they're moving up. Going to be adding quite a bit of fire support. Oh dear, these troops are going to need to get out of there. Infantry half-track rushes in. Light machine gun firing away. Lieutenant also going to need to get pushed away. Kettenkraut moving up to support as well. Good move, good move. Although there's no one in the infantry half-track, might be an idea to get some Panzer Grenadiers in there. Brits getting pushed back. Not a really good start for IronRoman. He's been rather, you know, aggressively hunted around. The Panzer League players already secured the majority of the map, and he's also certainly managed to put the British player back into his base. So things are certainly not looking up for IronRoman. Panzer is moving up to the infantry half-track. And we are seeing IronRoman quickly shifting things over to the western side of the map. That's a good move. Points getting secured. And we are seeing tank busters coming out for the Kampfgruppe C, composed of different elements from a Panzer division and some nearby Luftwaffe units. And reconnaissance quickly getting stopped. Suppressive volley from the Panzers with Gewehr 43. Infantry half-track pushing on as well, going straight for the Brits. Again, very bold, very aggressive, and a Panzer shake in the half-track as well. Oh dear, and he has spotted where the supply truck is. It's right there. Of course, again, a lot of players do put it there, so I mean, not a huge surprise, but still a good idea to check. And of course, with 2 Panzer shakes, he could end up doing a lot of damage. He could even end up knocking it out. In the meanwhile, the Brits continue here, digging down a trench while they go for the fuel point in case of a German counterattack. That's a good move, a great one. Certainly, it's going to be a bit difficult for the Panzer lead to dig them out if they are hiding in that. In fact, he just said about doing so, apparently leaving the lieutenant to take the points while they enjoy a spot of tea and a sandwich with Marmite in it. And is IronRoman aware of what's going on? What is going on? Actually, he could either go for the headquarters command truck or he could for the support truck. Make up your mind. Los geht's, Männer. And there we go. He is targeting the field support truck. Kettenkrad coming out a bit of fire. Brits sort of... Where is he going? Come on, you damn Hun. Show your Hun face. And there we go. Going straight for the field support truck. Panzerix flying and in this case missing. Stuart light tank arrives. Oh, the Panzer gunners have to get into it lest a cancer shot knock them all out. He has the munitions for it. Oh, the half-track down. Will there be a cancer shot? No, he's not going for one, interestingly enough. He could otherwise. Oh dear, field support truck down. Panzer is quickly retreating through all of this though. Going to be close, going to be very close. At the same time, we are seeing a Panzerjäger command going up. A Panzer support command, not Panzerjäger. For the Kampfgruppe. At the same time, this has been secured. Kettenkrad moving up for a bit of harassment. Veterancy has been achieved for some of the Panzer Grenadiers. When knocking out that field support truck, very nasty. Brits are following up. Again, pressure on IronRoman early on. This is a quite incredibly aggressive Panzer League player when facing off the Brits when you consider that. Captain practicing his marksmanship, but sadly the weapon revolver doesn't really get off much damage on a Kettenkrad. More Panzer gunners arrive, and he's just going heavy on the Panzer shakes. Just lots of tank busters. Lots and lots of them. Apparently expecting them to do all this sort of heavy anti-tank work. Although adding in a light anti-tank half-track to the fun. Tank busters coming under fire from the section in the trench. Not entirely sure what they're intending to do. Perhaps ambush the headquarters command truck. But they have been spotted, of course, due to the section in the trench. And there we go, Stuart arriving. Tank busters then quickly deciding they have elsewhere to be. Less hazardous places to be. Another engagement down south. Sabers holding out as Panzer is moving up with Gewehr 43s. And we are seeing a light anti-tank half-track moving up. We are also seeing the Stuart moving up from the other side. Although not else really, this could easily end up badly for the Germans. Stuart opening up. Light anti-tank half-track holding back, not quite joining in. Moving up. And there we go, destroyed engine on the Stuart light tank. Panzers need to get out of there. Rückzug, Männer. And there we go, but I don't think he might make it out of there. No, the Stuart misses. Its engine is on fire. It's down to half health. Anti-tank half-track keeps blasting away with its 37mm gun. Reconnaissance section moving into support. And there might there's no other support though. And that's what they need. Also, Kettenkrad's going pretty heavily on the harassment. Field support truck moving about. British arm managing to secure territory now. Light anti-tank half-tank, and there we go. Tank Panzer's around as well. Light anti-tank half-tank is in trouble. Stuart wrecked further. Sandpass from the contest, doing terrible damage to the tank busters. They need to get out of there. Oh dear, they might not make it. But looks like they are making it anyways. And a Panzer support command upgrade going up. Panzer is though not looking too good. I mean, the Kampfgruppe is just taking quite a flashing. Luftwaffe troops getting prepared. Light anti-tank half-track has seen better days. You could probably roast marshmallows on that, although I'm not entirely sure they'd be healthy due to all the wrecked engine fumes. Kettenkrad getting discovered and probably even wrecked, or will it be able to cloak in time? There we go. Panzer gun is reinforcing, getting ready to launch another counterattack against the Britisher. In the meanwhile, what is going on in the IronRoman camp? Nothing. No doctrinal choice, although we're seeing a new light Stuart tank on the way. Captain moving about, sensing another target practice opportunity. Panzer Grenadiers moving out, and we are seeing the first Luftwaffe squad arriving to support the Kampfgruppe, augmented with slightly more regular infantry. And they'll imagine be preparing that anti-tank half-track. Swing towards the west, leaving the east for now. More sappers on the way for IronRoman, the Roman of Iron. Oh dear, climbing up right next to a point. Probably the best idea. Oh right. Oh no, mind then, that wasn't clearly over there. Oh dear, I made a bit of a fool of myself, didn't I? Oh well. Things sometimes go wrong. Stuart not dealing with that though, going straight for the Kettenkrad instead, going for the much easier not Panzer armed target. Stuart though gets out of there, Kettenkrad I mean gets out of there in time, but the Stuart continues. Just a bit of a patrol, and there we go. Panzer equipped tank busters moving up. Although a captain has arrived to fire away at him. Oh, one hits and actually does some damage. The other, though, misses by quite a margin. Fighting has slowed down a bit.
The Germans are after one of our munitions.
Oh, another hit on the Stuart. Quite a bit of resource being flooded. We are seeing a 17-pounder gun up as well to protect against any armored assaults. Perhaps a Panther he's expecting or something else. And the recon section though is not doing well against this light anti-tank half-track. I fear we might be seeing focused fire from it. But they do manage to slip around the bocage. Light skirmishing up here, I think. We'll sit up here in the center of the town, where sappers are moving up through the streets, up past the cafe. Tank busters holding out. Piat rounds and Lee Enfield rounds also doing a bit of work. Note, a sapper is more or less in terms of stats the equal of a British infantry section member, though they don't quite get the same upgrades in terms of killing infantry. So I mean, you can't really augment them more. Still, they can hold up to their own in a fight, but they end up retreating too. Then again, that might be due to the assault going on right here. 17-pounder gun getting hammered by Panzer rockets. And a quick move is being conducted by IronRoman, but it's too late. The 17-pounder gun is gone. Stuart moves through the terrain, the countryside, and we are seeing the airborne doctrine for, well, not the the commando doctrine for the Brits, and they pop in right there next to the Luftwaffe troops, who get the scare of their life, and instead of conducting a full retreat, what do? Run into a nearby building. That's not necessarily going to work out well for them. Commandos move in, Luftwaffe troops seeks sanctuary, and what do the commanders do? They drop in a pineapple grenade and clear out pretty much everyone. So be careful with things like that. He should have retreated in that case. And the commandos got 5 kills within seconds. Panzer 4 infantry support tank, probably from some reserve Panzer division, which still use some older tanks basically for training purposes. Moving out with a low velocity 75mm gun, but it did have higher damage on it, well, more powerful high explosive shells due to the lower velocities on the gun, thus meaning of course that the casing on the shell didn't have to be as thick and thus could contain more high explosives. Blitz also moving in the north, Stuart supporting a sapper move, armored command track moving in, Panzer 4 with armored skirts moving in, that's good, you want armored skirts against Brits. 2 commanders down. Light fighting going on in the center. Panzer supported by a light anti-tank half-tank moving up against the Bren section. Getting slowed down. And getting pushed away. Allowing for a free advance through the market. Ooh, Kettenkraut went down to a recon section. Panzer 4 continues. Has been upgraded with a light machine gun as well. Or a machine gun mount. And we are seeing a logistic company going up, not a Panzerjäger command. Might have expected that. You know, armored cars and Panthers. And the Brits on the move again. At the same time, we are seeing a Cromwell on the way for IronRoman and the Guards Armored Division. The good old Cromwell.
Forward supply lines are broken.
Panzer 4 and light anti-tank half joining forces. Panzer 6 also in support, creating a rather small vicious force. Commanders moving in and commanders moving up. Or out.
There is cut forward supply lines.
Panzer 4 was not the only tank to be equipped with this gun. Later variants of the Panzer 3 were also, essentially they were turned into infantry support tanks, but also because this gun actually had some special anti-tank rounds which are actually somewhat effective. More effective than the Panzer 3's gun otherwise would have been the 50mm, I think. Cromwell ready. Also, I believe, and there was also one half-track which was equipped with a gun for sort of, again, sort of an assault cannon half-track. So a bit of fun there as well. Panzer 4 coming under fire from the Stuart. Cromwell moving in. This is going to be a bit of a problem. Immobilized Stuart. Lighter skirmishing over here, reconnaissance section. Wirbelwind Flak Panzer has arrived to support. Stuart taking damage, commandos moving up, Cromwell moving in. Commandos taking heavy damage, smoke going up. And we are seeing incendiary grenades, commandos running away. Panzer 4 heavily damaged. Kettenkraut down. Panzer 6 though are arriving, Cromwell taking heavy damage. Light anti-tank half though is long gone. More Panzer 6 moving up. Offensive efficiency 2. That's definitely going to help in actually hitting it. Panzer 4 heavily damaged. Armored skirts falling off. Cromwell main gun destroyed. Commanders moving up again. Running away again. Cromwell down. Stuart left behind to fend for itself. Does manage off a good shot on the Panzer, killing 2 with 1 shot. My goodness. Cancer shot. Oh, it doesn't do much there. Poor IronRoman. And the Stuart is lost, leaving the Guards Armored Division without any armor right there. Quite the little engagement over here. And Wirbelwind got knocked out, resulting in a rather explosive cook-up. Sending crew running flying everywhere. Yes. Sappers moving out. Piats in hand. Sneaking up through the northern edge of town. Glider has not been dealt with. Sometimes you might actually want to do that. If you actually manage to recapture the territory, he can actually reinforce from the glider. That's something a lot of people actually use, but you can actually reinforce from gliders if they are in your territory. Flaps seem to have acted up a bit there. And we are seeing stackouts now coming up. They are a bit better at dealing with infantry due to the bonus against Panzer, lots of health, and a slightly bugged 50 caliber, which means you can essentially keep fire forever without reloading. Sappers getting absolutely torn through by the flak feeling in its quad 20mm AA mount. Not sure what's going on with Fraps. Hang on. And there we go. That should hopefully help a bit.
Point is being seized.
Had not cleared up the raw footage from yesterday. That can cause a bit of a problem as that fills up a lot. Steward moves. Oh, Staghound moves up. Yes, he's lost all stewards. Bilbin tears away the Brits. Panzer IV getting swiftly repaired by fresh Luftwaffe troops, hoping for a slightly longer life expectancy rate than the previous ones. British are taking back a lot of lost territory. Staghound moving out. Staghound was mainly used by the British. The Americans didn't really use it. They just stuck to the Greyhound, the Stuart, and later on the Chaffee. And getting another Staghound. And that is what IronRoman is known for. Lots of Staghounds. Let's just speed up a bit. Sort of cut short all of the less exciting times. Of course, also make it a bit easier to process in the end. Of course, all that raw footage has to be cut down in size and all that. And of course, sort of keyed together from just being small segments to into a larger video. Luftwaffe troops going for the victory points. Panzer is moving in to the northern point with increased squad sizes. Trench there. Staghounds nearby. Oh dear, this could end up very, very nastily. And there we go. Staghounds moving in. A little drive-by. Panzer is taking absolutely heavy damage. They need to either get into the building or get out of there. Getting suppressed. And there we go, getting the hell out of there. No one dealing with the glider. Interestingly enough. And a Cromwell joining in for the more fun. Staghound supporting. Panzer IV going to get pushed away. Luftwaffe troops already on the run. And Panzer has arrived to try and save the day. Panzer VI, Veterans 3. Come on, Fraps, do be nice. A Staghound desperately screaming for repairs as the Hun is forced away once more. Kamfpgruppe has lost a bit of its grip. Sappers moving up to effectuate repairs.
Good to go. Can we get on with it?
And what else should we expect from the good IronRoman? I don't know. The Kamfpgruppe C moving out. Glider still standing. Fascinating. Bit of quiet, so why not speed it up again? Assault moves on in once more. Oh, nasty hit right there. 2 Panzers down. Panzer VI moving up. Taking heavy damage. Oh dear, 2 more down. 3. Just get out of there. At the same time, we are seeing what's going on there on the other side of the river shore. A flak 88. Not really what I would call the best and most stable placement. Clearly someone was in a hurry. Staghound though has brewed up. Panzer VI moving up. Heavy damage right there. Flak 88. Not quite hitting anything. Well, there we go. Cromwell brewed up. The town centre is more or less secured thanks to that anti-aircraft gun. And the Staghound Malik. No, that gets away. Just barely though. Offensive infantry for the Panzer IV. British forces doing what they can to secure victory points and laying down demo charges. Good job, my man. It's time actually to have a look at C again. My apologies a bit being slow there. Just the whole Fraps business causing me to lose trail on that a bit. Staghounds moving about. Panzer infantry moving in as well. Panzer VI flying. Ooh, sappers taking a bit of a nasty loss in there, and the Panzer IV forces them all to run like little piggies all the way home.
Enemy aircraft can now be countered with Wirbelwind.
Staghound, though, continues to cause a lot of trouble, ambushing, pouncing, and murdering Panzer Grenadiers. Wirbelwind in the north, though, forces away the commandos right there. Once more, quite hefty damage. Staghound's getting blasted to bits. Panzer IV continues. Oh dear, these Panzer Grenadiers need to get out of there. And the Luftwaffe troops, oh my goodness, they're just getting murdered. Come on, Sukofimo. Fight a bit for your men. And the Panzer IV's actually getting surrounded, getting absolutely hammered from every side. Piat's moving up as well. Panzer's doing what they can to support, but they are heavily damaged as well. Might want to consider. Panzer IV is down. Panzer kamfpgruppe sind kaputt. And these tank busters or Panzers or whatever that's hiding in there need to get the devil out of there and get back home.
Under fire.
Fallschirmjäger arriving. Trying to clear up that trench probably with their own incendiary grenades. And again, get them out of there. There's only one man left with a sliver of health. Oh, he wanted to get that Staghound, but I fear he might not get back home. Nope. Sappers getting burned alive, but this Fallschirmjäger outside it and not doing too well either. But there we go. Sappers forced away.
Butterfly bombs are now available.
Several Wirbelwinds, but nothing that can really deal with Cromwell and all those Staghounds. He might want to consider some heavier armoured assets. Lots of munitions though, lots of butterfly bombs he could be laying down. He is in fact laying some down. Right there, this little choke point. And oh dear, the commandos run straight into it. Down to half health. But they continue. And there we go, the other next one takes out 4. Pinned in fact now and retreating. Cromwell decides to take the path already worn by all the other troops and takes no damage. Wirbelwind moving up and Wirbelwind moving away, rather realizing it does not have the weapons to take on the mighty Cromwell. Wirbelwind moving up. More Panzer Schrecks, based on the American bazooka after captured examples from North Africa. Germans basically decided to improve on it, and improve on it they did, although initially it did not have that shield right there, and in fact they had to use gas masks, otherwise they get choked by the fumes, but adding that little shield there actually meant they didn't have to wear it. Oh dear, Cromwell taking heavy damage. Main gun destroyed. It might not make it out of there, although it does have the overloaded engine, so it should be able to get up there.
We're losing a fuel depot to
Another advance by the Brits right there through the center. Right next to the flak. That's not entirely healthy. But the flak's not noticing. Come on, you lazy bastards. Oh well.
Attacking a petrol depot.
And going for the central victory point. Good move right there by IronRoman. Bit of quiet, additional Luftwaffe troops. One of many sort of units the Luftwaffe commanded. Certainly one of the larger forces they had, although they were not really well-trained troops. They were usually given hasty training by a paratrooper instructor, given some equipment and then sent out to different places. Not exactly the elite, unlike, say, the Fallschirmjäger divisions, which did give the training, the time, and the equipment. All the Hermann Göring Fallschirmjäger Panzer Division, or Fallschirm Panzer Division, which was not an airdrop division, but it was an armored division, an elite armored division, which fought in Tunisia as a Panzer Grenadier division, then in Italy, and later on the Eastern Front as a Panzer division.
We are losing ground.
Not entirely sure how well it fought, but it might have fought somewhat alright, I think. It certainly did get some of the better equipment, and plus, of course, had access to, well, Luftwaffe equipment, I suppose, which might have given its, well, not a lot of advantage, except, I suppose, a lot of anti-aircraft guns and such. More butterfly bombs going in. Still. They did exist, and they did have some training units which did take part in Arnhem. Or the whole market garden debacle more specifically. But stack counts moving in, and mines again, doing a bit of damage. And Panzer doing a bit of damage right there to the stag hounds. Might want to take up position in the house so they can't get suppressed. But no. Apparently not for the kamfpgruppe. And let's go have a look at IronRoman. Oh dear. Wirbel went out of control. And gone. Panzer is moving up through the center. A bit of quiet. So let's speed it up until it gets less quiet. And there we go. Oh, butterfly bombs. He really loves his butterfly bombs. Although again, be careful about dropping it right in front of your opponent. He can destroy them while they're in that state. Brick going down. The Cromwell just clearing it out. And essentially, apparently not taking any damage at all. So that does lessen the effectiveness. Casual clean station up. It has almost full, in fact, for IronRoman. That's good. Guards armored soldiering on.
Kaz rep shows we lost a lieutenant.
And the lieutenant bit the dust. Fallschirmjäger moving out. By the later stages of the war, about the time of Will Market Garden, in fact, and onwards, though they were dropping in quality and essentially were more like Luftwaffe Field Division or Volkskrone divisions, just with sort of the Fallschirmjäger name attached to them. Not a lot were elite, along with just were, you know, infantry divisions with the Fallschirmjäger name. That's what it was. Yes, sorry. Still a bit of a fun fact right there. And these commandos are taking absolutely heavy losses, getting punished on the ground. And a bit of smoke there saves them. And then, of course, the mines ruin that. Secure a Bren gun and then get killed. More mines going off there, damaging the stag hound. Fallschirmjäger getting pushed away, not really taking any losses. And expert repairs sappers. Over repairing, in fact, the stag hounds are showing they're even tougher. And we are seeing a flak going up in the center of the town to provide even denser anti-aircraft fire, or well, more specifically anti-tank fire. In this case, obviously. And Cromwell getting hunted by Panzer and getting run out of town. And this is interesting. He's actually going for a HQ glider and getting himself some HMG commandos. Not that bad, in fact, but they just rarely seen, because again, a lot of people seem to think if it's not an MG42, it must be rubbish. No, it's just not an MG42. How many times do I have to say that? But still, they can work quite nicely if you know how to place them. Plus, the other support gunners are still commandos, so they're still a bit nastier than other support gunners. Flak, though, fires right into the crossroads right here, doing a bit of damage.
Enemy vehicle has been knocked down.
And another kit crab bites dust. And we are seeing a move right here by sappers into the north, supported by a small column of staghounds, going for all the victory points. A machine gun moving in towards the center, not entirely sure why. He might want to cover that other victory point he actually has. And oh dear, Panzer is running out. Looks like they might make it out of there, and not entirely sure what this machine gun is hoping to achieve with its figures. Staghound moving in from the side, a bit of a risky maneuver. Getting hammered by the flak and Panzer in the church. Line of skirmishing going on here. Fallschirmjäger is getting pushed back, although very, very closely. And we are seeing a forward barracks going up by the church. Interesting. Interesting. Definitely trying to fortify that point and hold out as long as possible. Of course, I have to see how that one works out, but the northern victory point has been lost, thus giving the Guards Armored and IronRoman both victory points, or well, majority. But he's not holding the one in the center, which is pretty heavily defended with anti-aircraft guns, able to rather stop all of his armored movements. Anti-tank half-tank knocks out the staghound, Wirbel being tested through the rest of the Reds. Luftwaffe just repairs. We do see Cromwell, that could do something. We are seeing the heavy machine gun commanders trying to sort of move about, but not quite succeeding. A nice move here actually by IronRoman would be to wire off this area, or possibly just to mine it, making it that much harder for the Germans to actually counterattack and take it back. And Fallschirmjägers, oh dear, getting absolutely slaughtered. Had probably not expected that much opposition. Panzer is moving in from the north. 50 caliber on the Staghound. Oh dear, the captain just got wiped out. And another shot from the flak, 88.
Supply lines are broken.
They did later on make some essentially anti-tank versions of it, packs if you will, which have the exact same gun, just with no anti-aircraft mount. And I suppose in that sense, just easier to make. And there was quite a few of them. Luftwaffe troops still running into a problem as a Cromwell arrives, punishing them. And we are seeing a Firefly now arriving, who perhaps hoping to deal with those vehicle winds and such a bit more easily than the Cromwell can. North continues to be held. One Sabbath squad though retreats. No attempt at rather fortifying this area. Oh, but there we go. Trenches. Ever lovely trenches. IronRoman just doing his best to hold on to the sort of periphery victory points. Germans doing their best to counter-attack, dig them out. Quiet though. Panzer is going down, pulling back. Another Panzer IV, that could definitely be an easy target for a Firefly, although it's right up there. Panzer IV seems to be moving elsewhere to try and deal up with this. Fallschirmjägers moving up to support it. Nice little combination. Oh no, armored skirts though for the Panzer IV. And quickly into the trench. This is definitely not looking good for the Panzer IV. In fact, Fallschirmjägers are trying to move in, but the Staghound could be dealing with that. There we go, Panzer IV down. Fallschirmjäger assault did not work out. That was a bit reckless right there by the Kampfgruppe. And the Germans. Another lieutenant ready.
Victory is at hand.
Light skirmishing continues while either side sort of gathers up for a large punch. Well, then again, IronRoman could basically just try to hold these points, since he knows an assault on the centre will be a very costly war, with two flak 88s essentially covering the area, Fort barracks and whatnot else. Of course, he could get artillery to sort of try and dig them out. That could work. More sappers. Small Luftwaffe assault, Fallschirmjägers and Luftwaffe troops. And quickly run off again. Bit of a stalemate at the moment. Something needs to be done to change it up. Could we be seeing it, or could we not? Let's speed up a bit. Looks like we are seeing some movement towards the west. Drawing out the Staghound, and IronRoman takes the bait. He could be losing his Staghound, but no, it actually gets away. But still, that means the sappers in the trench are on their own. They are exposed. Luftwaffe troops trying to hold out here. And thus probably also tie up some troops, since otherwise, I mean, if IronRoman just leaves this completely, he could risk losing it. Here you go, and there's the flip. This is basically just to hold on for the bridgehead. And Staghound now with a destroyed engine. Panzer moving in and immobilized. And again, the sappers in the trench will be left open. Oh dear, again, he managed to draw out IronRoman Staghound and separate it from the sappers in the trench. And it has succeeded, and now they're wondering where the bloody hell's the Staghound. What's this? Another flak 88. He's getting 3. That's quite a few.
Lanes clear.
That's a large battery, if I'm not mistaken. The
Forward
skies are definitely
supply
going to be
line.
safe, I think. That is, if we actually were dealing with allied aircraft. Fallschirmjägers moving in. We are seeing some Wirbelwinds moving in. Brits moving in towards the north. Germans are moving in though, and sappers are getting burnt out. But will it be soon enough? And there we go, flag 8 is ready. And oh dear! Command. No, that's regular Chrome, but the Firefly's in trouble getting hammered. Luftwaffe troops repairing the flag 88, and Firefly is down. Sappers getting murdered.
Down to 50 points.
And I think the other flak is actually supporting the first flak. Oh dear, yes indeed. Oh dear, this is a triangle of doom from these 3 flaks. Absolutely insane. Let's go return to the German. Goes GG. Perhaps he's feeling he can win. Or perhaps he's feeling his opponent can win. It's a bit unsure. Some people are a bit of arseholes in that sense. He's clearly not giving up, so he thinks he must have won right there after that engagement. Fallschirmjäger is getting suppressed by the Vickers. In fact, pinned. Coming under heavy fire though from the Wirbelwind and the flak, but the heavy cover does provide some protection. Other victory point though still also British.
Commonwealth forces are capturing a friendly sector.
And we are seeing a British force moving in to secure the point. Although of course at the same time trying to stay out of the bloody range of that flak. 36 the 88. Sappers moving in for the central victory point. A bit of a bold move, in fact, I think. More Fallschirmjägers joining, and those... Oh my goodness, that was a great hit from the flak. I think. Saw out quite a few. Fallschirmjäger squad here. Needs to get out of there. Hook shoot.
Our brothers have fallen.
And they did not. In the meanwhile, another assault gets pushed towards here. Clearly the Kampfgruppe is getting desperate. Exhausting its Fallschirmjäger reserves, clearing out the trench, even stealing a Piet. But now they do have access to that victory point, so they can turn the tide in that direction. Might want to consider getting some butterfly bombs down as soon as possible. And some other bits. Bit of a stalemate.
Germany is conceding a sector point to the Commonwealth.
It's only been a bit of a fight, I would think. Let's just speed it up. 17 points left for the German. Anti-tank half-tank butterfly bombs being laid down. And IronRoman will need to counter-attack, but of course he can't risk taking away forces from this, otherwise he will lose this.
Ready for mission
More
order.
Fallschirmjägers moving in to try and hold it. British getting ready to mount an assault. A few sappers, a reconnaissance section, and a lieutenant leading the whole party. But what is this? We are seeing staghounds being moved away, one being abandoned. Piats, oh dear, they are using this piece of bocage to essentially provide cover from the flak. And we are not seeing another one being built up here. That's never mind.
Panzer, we must defend the enemy's advances on our victory point.
FG-42 fire. An interesting weapon, partly assault rifle, partly LMG. Oh dear, but the Brits are taking heavy losses too much. Oh! Infantry section down, staghounds are arriving. But will it be enough? Panzer fire and mines going off, doing heavy damage to the staghound. Panzerfaust, Panzerschreck, anti-tank half-tank. Oh! Panzerschreck team down. Fallschirmjägers could be going down. Panzer 4 arrives. Panzer Kampfwagen 4, another one. That should be a small platoon. And mines going off. Oh dear, anti-tank half-track down. Panzer 4 about to take over the spot, doing a bit of damage there to the Staghound. A small inferno as the Staghound fights a vain fight in an attempt to stop that Panzer 4. It's a 37mm gun not built for that, in particular when it's been destroyed. Destroyed engine. This is definitely not looking good. And there we go, out of control, no more. Faulty Megas moving up. Luftwaffe squad being sent in.
At the ready, Commander.
The Kampfgruppe is pretty strung out. Not a lot of troops here and there. Just the absolute bare minimum to launch anything.
We can use Luftwaffe ground.
Sappers once more moving for the central victory point. Again, getting absolutely splattered out. Cromwell moving in. Sappers moving up. Oh, faulty Jägers screaming for their father. Well, one is, but he's probably not going to live long. Anti-tank grenades now ready. An absolute desperate defense, in particular considering those anti-tank grenades aren't going to do anything. Why? Because he has no Panzer gun there is capable of throwing them. Definitely looks like the Panzer League player is losing it. Cromwell now dealing, but what is this? We are seeing a Flak 88 going up, a fourth Flak to try and save this point. If he can get this up, it's going to be very, very difficult for IronRoman to dig it out. And there we go. Let's go return to Mr. IronRoman. Cromwell gone. And we are seeing a clump. Oh my goodness, this is a pretty ballsy move by the commandos. And by Jove, they make it. That was really a daring commando raid. And the Flak actually gets sorted out and recruited by commandos. And it's going to be turned against that Panzer 4, I wager. And there we go. Oh dear, the Luftwaffe troops are not going to be happy either. But the position is held. The commandos have secured it for now. And a Flak 88 is being held by the British.
Go ahead.
That's definitely not good news. And I do see a Wirbelwind being sent in. Although he might want to deal with the Flak first. Commandos getting suppressed. But they do manage to secure the victory point. Oh, nice hit on the Flak. I mean the Wirbelwind. Faulty Jägers and Luftwaffe troops moving in. Commandos not going to hold that. They need support, they need reinforcement. But it's not there. So now the flank is left to its own devices. Decoy artillery. More force getting pushed in and very close to getting actual artillery. No, we're seeing butterfly bombs. Interesting. And there we go. Artillery going in. Right on the point, right on the troops. 9 points left. And 25 points left. Faulty Jägers gone. Luftwaffe troops taking heavy losses. Versus the Flak. And played back over. There we go. A victory for the British, I would say, pretty calmly. And certainly a bit of a close fight. Certainly things where either side looked to have the upper hand, but definitely the Germans really looked to have it early on, but then they sort of threw it away. I mean, he was essentially too reliant on Panzer tracks. He never really evolved beyond that, and essentially, apparently his plan was to rely on Flak 88s, which are great, but you know, they can't move. Lots of barbed wire here, though, to try and make it harder for the Brits as well. Still, I mean, had he bothered with something else, Midas or Panthers, he might actually have made it. Instead, it was a very close victory to IronRoman and the Guards Armoured. So there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.